Hello everybody. Well, order that I'm trying to make a video on my main channel. Now we're talking about this. I could offer you this video in this channel is I could tell you the good news about something. Well, bad news for me was like the place, the donut shop, they already hired somebody. I came too late, but I'm just gonna apply in whatever it is. My main purpose is work, finding work. Well, good news for Camaro fans or people that are actually conscious with made in USA in this part. Well, there's good news. Even though I was out of the country, you know, telling you, oh yeah, where's the about here and yeah. And then I read something on the net here about the Camaro being made in the U.S. in Lansing, Michigan. That's good news. That's good news, man, because I think we need jobs here. We need jobs here for automobile production and whatever it is. So what I'm saying is this. Even though for all you Camaro fans or whatever it is, or some of you that are saying that want to buy thinking of getting a Camaro when it's built in the U.S., saying, damn, this is good. You know, with the label made in the USA come back in the Mustang's main competitor car. And that's right, and that is awesome, man. You know, bringing jobs here and all that crap. And the best part of all is that everybody's gonna be happy. I think everybody in the US will be happy having jobs back. For the people in Oshawa in Canada, well, I know it's gonna be easy. Don't be harsh on yourself. You know, I love you guys. Don't be harsh on yourselves, man. It's time to move on. It's like I did another video about the Tesla S being manufactured at a former Ford plant. It was such a relief reading this in the net and hearing this good news. But also, it's what a relief that the Mustang is not being outsourced or it's not being made outside the US. That's the reason why we're this factory that I hope that they could start making Tesla S, Model S in Canada at a former Ford plant. It was like, well, this is better off for a safe haven. Turning that former Ford plant into a Tesla Motors plant, to the first Tesla plant in Canada. It will be a relief that, you know, whatever the CEO might do, the Ford Mustang will be in the safe haven with the Made in the USA label. For a matter of fact, is that is supposedly being this of hearing this and seeing this thing about you know, back in 2011 when I see this plant closing for a while, thinking, okay, where are these guys gonna do? Where was the Mazda 6 car is going to be produced in Japan and not in North America? The reason why is if the CEO of FMC was an Asian guy, then the first Ford Mustang being outsourced will be the same thing that happened with the town car being made at the same plant, you know, like switching from the Crown Victoria and the town car and to produce Mustangs, to add Fusion, to add Lincoln MKZ and the Mazda 6 all made in the same factory. It gotta be geez. This might happen, but look in the other side, you know, it's better off to keep the Mustang with the Made in the USA, keep it in Flat Rock, and whatever it is, and thinking of converting that former Ford plant into a Tesla factory is better off for a safe haven for keeping the Made in the USA label on that. But other than that, the Camaro, yeah, Lansing, Michigan. That's one thing I could say. I could say about all one SUV that it could be replacing when the Camaro be manufactured back in the US. That car has to be replaced by an SUV. An SUV used by the Secret Service. An SUV used by two sides of the border. Even though they make it in two countries, US and Mexico, then add a third country to make the Suburban. Well, and also to export it. Well, 2015 Suburban, it looks awesome. The only thing will change is the nameplate for that third country to make it. For export, Ford did that crap with one single car when they manufactured the first place where the Lincoln Town car was outsourced to be made outside the US, and when they manufactured the Crown Victoria, the Mercury, Grand Marquis, and Mirador, they did that, and they did it with Saudi Arabia. The main thing is that it is closed, and we hope for it to be a Tesla plant. I hope for it to be a Tesla plant. I'm just trying to protect certain icons that are regardless to be known that is made in the US to be made in the US. Yeah, same thing. It's not that easy. Yeah, look at the popular Converse All-Stars, for example. They're made outside of the US since 2001. The Camaro was made outside the US since 1992 or 93. Yeah, 1993. It was made in the US during the 60s through 80s to 1992. Then 1993 came by. That's what they make it in one Canadian factory. Then they close it, and then they make it in Oshawa, and then it's gonna come back. That is impossible for Converse All-Star shoes being made in Asia. But an example for a comeback, then you could sell a Suburban in one particular country in Asia, or place in Asia that I wanted to go. So the only thing would change it is the name. It happened before. It happened before with a Holden version of the Suburban sold in Australia. It happened before, but it's gonna happen again. Now, this would be very tricky. This would be absolutely off your mind, and think about, damn, Isuzu? Oh yeah, the Isuzu story. Put it back. Isuzu LUV. Chevrolet LUV. What is it? So it's an Isuzu pickup truck used with the Chevrolet nameplate. It was made in Japan for North America. Now it would be in the reverse thing. When the Camaro will be manufactured in the US, is going to be on reverse. Well, there you got it. A 2015 Chevrolet Suburban that is only sold in markets where they sell the Chevrolet name. Yeah, I think for the Oshawa people, Oshawa, Ontario, it is time to make Suburbans there. I think the only thing, the difference is that this GM plant has been, JD Power's top quality standards, and could actually meet Isuzu standards. But let me tell you why it's gonna meet Isuzu standards. You know, the Japanese are very tricky with their quality, and they want quality control to be the same as them. And that GM plant in Ontario meet their standards. That's why the 2015 until like next year for the 2016 or 2017 Suburban will be the Isuzu version. The Isuzu version of the Suburban will be made in Oshawa, Ontario, in Canada. The first Canadian built Suburban sold for Japan. That means they're gonna sell it in Japan as an Isuzu Suburban. So that means that kind of equally made in North America, but not in the United States of America, for Japan, a Suburban with the Isuzu nameplate. The Isuzu Suburban will be used by, I think, the Japanese police or the Japanese military or whatever it is. That's what the Isuzu Suburban is. Actually is a Suburban built in Ontario, built in Oshawa, Ontario, at a GM plant. Even though they will make Chevrolet versions, probably they might make the Escalade as a Cadillac, but the Chevrolet Suburbans that's just for North America and for probably the Canadian Border Patrol or whatever. They have their Chevrolet Suburbans and maybe sell some here and this and that. Well, they have some made in Mexico for the Mexican Border Patrol, whatever. You know, here and there. But the Isuzu one will be the only one that is made out of the Oshawa factory when the Camaro comes back to be manufactured back in the US. That one is that Isuzu Suburban will be made at the same factory where the Camaro was built right now until the day that it comes to be manufactured back here in the US. I think this would be better off for this, as long as you have a CEO. I mean, I don't know if you have Japanese Americans control the Ford Motor Company and having Tesla at a former Ford plant where they used to make the Crown Victoria. What's next gonna be? Texas? I don't care. I don't care. As long as they say, as long as you hear the term, it's better in Texas. Well, sometimes I might believe a Japanese CEO when there's a Tesla factory in Canada where the former Ford factory is located. And then it will be okay as long as it's made in the U.S. and they say it's better in Texas, then I'll believe him or her. And then, you know, Fusion made in Texas, or reopen the Dallas plant, you know, or like they could open a state-of-the-art Dallas plant and Ford plant in Dallas, Texas, JD Power awarded and everything, top quality, top notch, outperforming plant in the US that outperforms everybody, even outperforms the Michigan plants. You know, Flat Rock will be out of jobs. Why? Because they moved to Texas. Maybe they might make pickup trucks in Texas. You know, and then you have to see the label, built in Texas by Texans, with the Ford logo in it on every Mustang or every Ford car, or if even the Fusion, or maybe they're gonna make Mazdas back in North America. In the US, in Texas, having a Tesla factory in Canada where the former Ford factory used to be at, then everything's okay. I have no problem with that. Other than that, you know, Isuzu Suburbans, Camaro being made in the US, having Chevrolet Suburbans made north of the border at the same plant that the Camaro is built in right now until 2015 when they outsourced it. That means, yeah, third country to make a Suburban, even though they're gonna make it in Mexico, you know, US, Canada, and Mexico. What else I might say? After all, I think it would be awesome to have this kind of switch of things. A former Ford plant making Tesla cars in Canada, a GM plant in Canada making Suburban SUVs, Chevrolet nameplate, Cadillac, GMC, Yukon XL or Cadillac Escalade XL, Chevrolet Suburbans, and the only Isuzu made outside Japan, sold in Japan, will be a Suburban also. A rebadged Chevrolet Suburban with the Isuzu name on it, sold only in Japan. It's not going to be manufactured in the US, but it's sold only in Japan. But it's manufactured in North America, but not in the US. That's it. Well, I think any questions asked, just write me a comment. Tell me what you think of all this, and I think you guys better see the Tesla S made in Canada in the Embargo Man channel, and you want to check it out. Please, you might know that things gotta change, switching from for the people in Oshawa, switching from making Camaros to SUVs, from Camaros to Suburbans. Even that will be the only plant that will make Suburbans with the Isuzu nameplate, because Isuzu used to make vehicles for Chevrolet. So goodbye and peace out.